What's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? So, Beauty and the Beast, Kong, Skull Island, Logan,
Episode 8, Last Jedi
The
teaser
best
trailer.
love letters to Hollywood that we've
This
ever
film
seen.
is a masterpiece. So, until the next time, goodbye.
Black Panther was directed by Ryan Coogler, and it's the latest installment in the MCU. We were first introduced to Black Panther in Captain America Civil War when his father died, so now, fast forward to present day, T'Challa, aka the Black Panther, is becoming king. Now there has been a ton of hype around this film. Early reviews were saying it's the best film in the MCU. A ton of people were saying it was really good. I got my ticket for opening night, literally the first screening that I could have seen it. I was so excited to see this film. And I can come back and I can say now that it is really good. It is a really good film. I don't think it's the best in the MCU, but I think it's definitely up there. Simply for how different, and I think this is going to be a groundbreaking superhero film for diversity reasons, for just the topics that it covers. I think that Black Panther was a really good film, and definitely a very important superhero film. First off, I apologise if the sound quality sounds a bit different. I don't have my computer with me right now. I've packed, I'm going to Portugal over February break, so I'll try and post this video when I'm over there, but for right now, I'm back filming on my phone with my old system before I start filming on my laptop, so if the setup and the sound quality is a bit different, I apologise for that. Anyway, as I said, going into Black Panther, I was really excited. It's directed by Ryan Coogler, who's done Fruitvale Station and more recently Creed, two excellent films, and now he's 3 for 3. He has directed another excellent film, and you can definitely see that his direction shines through in this film. I was hooked from the opening scene. I thought that opening scene was great. As soon as the Marvel credits started, I was into it, really into it, but the first half does drag a bit. I think that the first half is the weakest part of this film. There are some great sequences. There's one really cool car chase scene in South Korea. Andy Serkis' character, throughout the first half of the film, I think he's really cool. Andy Serkis has a great time in the role, and he's just a very lecherous, evil guy, and I really dug his character. The pacing was a bit off sometimes. There were some slow patches, particularly when we were first introduced to Black Panther and we're introduced to the world of Wakanda, which I'll get to later, but there were some slow patches, and they just sort of hopped from scene to scene to scene. There was no real natural rhythm. The film didn't really get into its groove until the second half. But I'll get back to the second half later on in the review. First off, Chadwick Boseman, we saw glimpses of what he could do as Black Panther in Civil War, and I think that this film is a really great way of making us care for his character in Infinity War. Without this film, in between Civil War and Infinity War, Black Panther would just be another character, let's say like Quicksilver was in Age of Ultron, or Scarlet Witch. We didn't know enough about them to really care about them. They don't really matter to us. But this film makes you care so deeply about Black Panther and T'Challa, the character himself, and also Wakanda. I want to talk about Wakanda. Wakanda feels like a living, vibrant community. The way that they brought this whole new fictional culture to life and made it feel like a living, breathing, actual place that exists in real life, I thought that was great. The direction is spot on. The special effects that bring Wakanda to life, really cool. The whole thing about Wakanda is that it's this ancient civilization, it's shielded from the rest of society, and they have this special metal called vibranium, which is going to be a major component in the MCU in the future, I think. But for the sake of this film, vibranium is this special metal that the country was basically founded on, and it's super strong, and they use it in their weapons, in their clothes. They basically built the entire city out of this vibranium, and it's basically what causes the main conflict between Black Panther and the villain Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan. More on him later. Anyway, Chadwick Boseman starts out quite reserved as the character. We don't really know much about him, and all he wants to do in the beginning is to be a good king and serve Wakanda well. Later on in the film, when he's actually challenged for the first time, that's when he really became a very strong character, and Chadwick Boseman really brought it in the second half of the film. First half of the film, I thought that he was very reserved. We didn't know much about what his goals were other than just to protect Wakanda. It was a bit choppy. The scenes didn't really flow as well as they could have. There are a couple of highlight scenes, but now I want to talk about the second half. As soon as Michael B. Jordan's character resurfaces, he has one scene in the beginning of the film that introduces you to him, and you're like, wow, Michael B. Jordan's doing a really good job here. He's charismatic. and you can see how good of a villain he's going to be. He goes away for maybe 40 minutes, and I did miss him in that portion of the film. I was like, okay, Michael B. Jordan's character has to come back at some time soon. As soon as he comes back, the film just, boom, it becomes great. Really, really great. I would either say it ranges from great to amazing in its second half. The first half, a bit slow. Second half, that's where Black Panther becomes Black Panther. This is where the film becomes one of the great MCU films. Basically, Michael B. Jordan plays this character called Eric Killmonger, and he has connections to Wakanda, I'm not going to say what, but he wants to share these vibranium weapons with poor countries. He wants to share this technology that Wakanda has been shielding from the rest of the world. Remember, they're protected from the rest of the world. No one knows about Wakanda. He wants to share this technology with poorer countries in the world, and he wants to establish Wakanda as one of the great countries in the world. He wants Wakanda to become the #1 country, and he wants to do that by challenging T'Challa as king. So that's where the conflict comes into it, and that's where I think Black Panther becomes a really, really great film. The conflict between Black Panther, T'Challa's beliefs, and Killmonger's beliefs, the way that those two go at it in this film, the clash between the hero and the villain, that's what makes this film great. And the great thing about Killmonger, what makes him one of the best villains that we've had in a while, I would honestly say he might be better than Loki as the best MCU villain. You understand where he's coming from, and for a solid portion of the film, you might even side with him, because his beliefs make that much sense. And even when he's committing these evil acts, and you know that what he's doing is wrong, you're still with him somewhat, because you know that what he believes in actually makes sense, and you can see where he's coming from. The way that both T'Challa's character and Killmonger's characters develop throughout the film, that was really, really interesting to see. And the emotional payoff at the end of the film for these two characters, there's one scene involving these two characters at the end of the film where things are wrapped up, and it's going to hit you. It is going to hit you hard. It is going to hit you very hard. Killmonger's backstory, the reason that we actually care about him, that will hit you. And the emotion that is brought in this film was really staggering. Obviously, the supporting cast is great. It has a huge cast. I really liked Andy Serkis, as I've mentioned. Martin Freeman has a more extended role, and I thought he was actually quite funny, and I enjoyed his more extended role. Forrest Whitaker, Angela Bassett, these are veteran actors. They do a great job. Daniel Kaluuya, he has a minor part, but he brings it as well. I want to talk about the actress who plays T'Challa's sister. I can't quite remember her name, but she's basically like his, how Q is to James Bond. She's like his gadgets person, and she's also the comic relief, and she is really funny sometimes in this film. Her one-liners, her sense of humour, she provides some much-needed comic relief, because this film is very dramatic. It's almost like a Shakespearean drama. You know, these two men fighting for the throne, fighting for what they believe in. It's really, really great. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed the politics of Black Panther, but I feel like I've been going on and on. All I can say is you should definitely see it. It's not without flaws, but looking back on it, I think that Black Panther will be a very, very important superhero film, and not just a superhero film, a very important film for its diversity, the way that it brings an entirely new culture to life, for its politics, for its social commentary, definitely. It has some great things to say about race issues, and it's just a really, really entertaining film. It has some slow patches in the beginning, but after that first half, as soon as Michael B. Jordan's character comes in and challenges the throne, from one scene onwards, when he's challenging the throne, from that scene, it's just great. Just one more thing, I want to talk about the action scenes. They are good. I think that some action scenes in this film are better than others. There are some standouts, like that car chase in the beginning, and also the climactic battle between Killmonger and Black Panther. That was really emotional, and also well done as well. Some scenes stand out more than others, but I think that it's the emotional moments that really stand out. It's the characters, the character development, and just how much you care about Wakanda, its culture, and the people who inhabit it. That's what makes Black Panther special. I'm going to give Black Panther an A-. 2018's off to a great start. Definitely go and see Black Panther, even if you're not a fan of the MCU. This has been their best standalone effort. It works as an origin story, and the fact that it almost has no connection to the MCU, apart from maybe Andy Serkis' character and Martin Freeman's character, who have been in previous films. It feels like its own film, it tells its own story, and it's a great story at that. Definitely go and see it. I had a great time. So, those are my thoughts on Black Panther. What did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. And until the next time, goodbye.